I'm really excited because I see chocolate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about what you have here.
Okay, we're not your regular chocolate makers. We actually use 3D printers to print positives of things we want to make for exhibitions. For example, Maker Faire Orlando's seal. Then we vacuum form a food grade plastic around it to make a mold. And then we pour chocolate in it, and you end up with something like our display here. It's partially colored, and we airbrush it with colored cocoa butter, so this is completely edible. Our joke is internal to our company is that you can have a big party and have an ice sculpture, and at the end of the night you have a puddle. With us, you can take it home, you can auction it off, you can share it with friends. Whatever makes you happy, you still have something to eat at the end of the night.
So I must ask, how are those not melting?
Well, these right now, as long as we know what the temperature range is for our chocolates, and these have also been sprayed with a sugar lacquer. So it's why it makes them all beautiful and shiny, but it also keeps them from melting.
So smart. So does that sugar lacquer change the taste of it at all?
No, I have an absolute rule. I'm the head chocolatier as well as the CEO. My absolute rule is I won't use anything that compromises the flavors of the chocolate, or if we add flavors, the flavors have to be like essential oils, things like that. I was trained in a French chocolate school, and so these are made to European standards, which means you don't get to press out all the cocoa butter and replace it with vegetable oil. You don't get to use wax. You don't get to do any of that stuff because the flavor of the chocolate is paramount.
So then what are some of the different flavors that you have?
We have a variety of flavors. We do bars as well as truffles, but our truffles can have cayenne pepper in them. They can be mint. They can be caramel sea salt. They can be Earl Grey, as in Earl Grey tea, and a variety of other flavors. We even do just plain vanilla. Our bars tend to be a little more adventuresome. We have a caramel sea salt chocolate bar that has ground up potato chips in it. If you've really got the munchies, it is the be all end all.
I hear what you're saying there. So thank you for bringing chocolate to Orlando. Do you feel like people in Orlando need to know about your chocolate?
It's sort of interesting. We actually, our kitchen is in Daytona Beach, but we're involved with Maker Faire and have been for years and years. So every year we do Maker Faire, and we're one of the few food makers there. And we do chocolate making workshops. We do all kinds of exhibitions, and we sell our chocolate. And we have a lot of customers in Orlando. But amazingly, about 80% of our customers are in California, Washington State, Oregon, and New York. So we're better known outside the state of Florida than we are inside, but we're working on that.
So food and chocolate, do you think it's considered art?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a non-linear background. My first job out of college was I was a neurobiologist at the National Institutes of Health in Washington, D.C., and then I became a data scientist in Silicon Valley. And this was actually my hobby. This is what I did to relax. And then when I moved back here, people were going, "You've got to sell the chocolate." So we started doing that, and yeah, it requires an art background, it requires a technical background, it requires knowing the chemical composition of really good chocolate. And a lot of our clients have food allergies, so knowing that we make stuff like we make vegan chocolate, we make stuff without nuts, we make wheat-free, gluten-free, and really the trick is convincing people that because it's healthy doesn't mean it doesn't taste good.
So you're saying that chocolate's healthy?
Absolutely. Actually, my background in neurobiology, which is brain science, chocolate triggers the same cascade of biochemicals in your brain as falling in love. So it's like a cheap relationship that you don't have to ever regret.
That's good news. That's very, very good news. Then I know that we have some chocolate that we have there to
Yes.
taste. We have two different kinds. What are the different
Right.
kinds?
The one that's airbrushed in yellow is our vegan chocolate. It's a single source from Ecuador. That means it comes from only one plantation. And it is actually, for a sweetener, it has coconut sugar, which has a lower glycemic index. So if somebody's trying to avoid processed sugar or they're diabetic, that's an excellent choice for them. The other is what's called an Indonesian blend. That comes from multiple plantations throughout Indonesia that it's blended together for its taste, and that has regular sugar in it. So for the more pedestrian people who want all the good stuff in it.
I like them both. So I'm gonna give the vegan one a try.
Okay.
Look at that. Sorry, that looks. You never know.
Yeah. The Ecuadorian, you'll notice, has a lot of coffee notes in it.
Definitely.
That's because the trees are grown with coffee trees, and it picks up on the flavor of the coffee.
Wow. So you obviously know a lot about the history and about where these beans come from and everything about them. You can tell.
What most people don't know is 70% of the world's chocolate actually comes from West Africa. We won't use that chocolate for a very specific reason, because in West Africa they kidnap kids to harvest the cocoa beans, and the big companies don't really care. So unless somebody can come to us and tell us the story from the time the tree was planted through it being processed, and that no slave labor was used, people were paid a fair price, it's all ethically sourced, we won't touch it. So if you want to feel good about your chocolate, find somebody who's ethically sourcing their chocolate.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, most people don't.
Well, I'm gonna give this one a try.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. It's really, really good. The vegan one's good too, but this one, I can eat this all day, every day. And it's guilt-free.
It's guilt-free. It's, for example, what you're eating is about 65% pure chocolate. Your Hershey bar is 11%.
I'm not surprised. This tastes like a cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It's
It
delicious.
Should. It should. And you should never have like a weird chemical or waxy finish on your tongue. It should be chocolate all the way through. Otherwise, they've added, binders, fillers. They actually add wax to hold out their bottom line. We want you to have chocolate the way chocolate was meant to be.
Well, thank you so much. This chocolate is delicious. You guys need to come try some. Thank you.
Thank you.